Peace. All right, smell goods. Thanks for that super chat right there. Greatly appreciate it. All right. Yeah, I don't know how can we, I've been noticing that too. It takes a minute sometimes for the comments to come through. You know what I'm saying? So today we got a little topic, man. Going savage in the wilderness of North America. That's the topic of today's live civilization class. You got SW, Smell Goods, The Wordsmith, Wise You, VC Realm, Knowledge Allah, Jarrell Boylan, Supreme Divine. What is that? Siamano Ikipa? What language is that? What language is that? Supreme Divine. Wari Kusi. Everybody make sure they do the each one and teach one and hit the like button so we can get the rest of the people in here. Take a minute to share this on your other pages before we get started. That's Polish. So what does that say in Polish? Oh, it's peace for the team. All right. How you learn Polish? What's the phenomenon on that? You was born in Poland? Interesting. Shout out to Poland. Just goes to show you how far this knowledge is going. How far we have come. Yeah, see. So now you working on the Polish version too of the. You working on the Polish language now, according to the Wordsmith. Smell Good said, being wild in the wild seemed cool at a time. As a child, all the while it was foolish every time. Yeah, that's what we're going to be getting into. is what we are going to be getting into. Waiting for a couple more people from the What Did I Miss crew. Man, y'all, y'all going in right now on Polish. You're gonna be adding on to the book too. Who is it so far? It's the Wordsmith and L7, right? District 120. What's been going on Clubhouse today? I was on there for a little minute. They keep inviting me to groups where it's like, I'm not really interested in commenting on this topic. You got a lot of people that's slow to come in here today. The Knicks about to play lost the Lakers. Okay. I'm just gonna tell y'all right now so nobody has a heart attack. Don't be surprised. You said Elon Musk was on there? Yeah, I don't know what it is. People starting to feel like they got uh a relationship with these rich people these days. I ain't sure what's going on with that, but that's a level of the propaganda. You know what I'm saying? To make you feel like you actually a part of that club. Yeah, you can say that. Brooklyn is kind of like the Clippers, where it's like, they New York, you know what I'm saying? I mean, when they win, it's not like I'm upset, but I'm just District 120 said Elon Musk was talking about living on Mars and planets that had civilizations in the past and how civilizations all declined, how to live or get to Mars, and what they are attempting to achieve. Sounding some big dreams right there. Selling some big dreams. Anybody got any questions before we get started? Before we delve into the topic? You said, how would I apply today's degree to the topic? Um, well, let's go ahead and start on the topic, which is, I've been looking at some news stories. People have been sending me a lot of news stories too. And, have we gone savage here in the wilderness of North America? And the way that pertains to today's degree, you know what I'm saying, uh is that why we having a hard time achieving some of the things that we got to achieve? You know what I'm saying? Like, we already know what the atmosphere is. We know what the situation is. We know who the original man is and who the colored man is. We know what's the mental and physical power of the original man. We know what the mental and physical power is of the colored man. And so while we know that, it's a lot of circumstances here in the wilderness of North America that's against us, right? We also know that that's besides the point of the things that we got to accomplish here in the wilderness of North America. So have we arrived at the point where, we having a hard time, manifesting our civilization because, in fact, we've gone savage. Each individual, you could say, you got your, maybe you haven't gone savage as an individual. I was watching the news or somebody sent me a news story about another woman that she got jumped. She got jumped in Harlem. Then there was the story that somebody sent me yesterday, with the brother that he killed two he killed two women on a live stream or something. Or he killed two women and then he live streamed with him with the gun and they bodies right there. Then when I found the story and I read up on it, they said that one of the women that he killed was his sister-in-law, and Born Love. Shout out to Born Love. They put a comment on the last video at the part where we was talking about that to say that it was a situation where the dude thought that his brother sent the girls to set him up or something. Apparently he was partaking in crystal meth. Oh, that's what he's saying now. He was set up. I mean, it's possible. I don't know the whole situation, but I'm just saying that when you start to look at some of these situations, uh, there's always that question that listen, if things go wrong, what was you doing while they went wrong? And so while, we could talk about what the Taliban do, we could talk about, him continuing daily. We could talk about the vaccine. We could talk about, the economy. We could talk about housing. We could talk about all of these things. But at some point, you also got to talk about, okay, what was you doing while all of that was happening? And in some cases, it seems like the answer is you was busy going savage. You was busy being a savage. See, we know we here in the wilderness of North America, but are we becoming, it's one thing to become accustomed to the environment and learn how to survive in an environment while being yourself. It's another thing to, become accustomed to the beasts in the jungle and becoming one of those beasts as a mechanism to cope and survive in the jungle. District 120 said, so he's saying who he killed tried to set him up, but why would you film that to try to save your case? That don't even look like he right or exact in what he's presenting. And I mean, that's what we talking about. So as we attempt to manifest our culture, to a level of building a civilization, Melissa Davis, you know, uh, as we talking about advancing our culture to a level of building a civilization, is this why we having a hard time? Because, when it said, uh, you know, straight away from civilization, right? Civilization is knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, and refinement. So the first thing what that's telling you, man, is you straying away from the facts. You forgetting the facts of the circumstance. So we look at the facts of this whole year, right? the whole, all the protests that was had over the summer, all the movements that's been started over the last couple of years, you know what I'm saying? Whether you like them or you don't like them, you know what I'm saying? From the protests to ADOS to Black Lives Matter, whatever, that came out to deal with the circumstances that's, creating the environment that we in right now that's not beneficial for us, right? Um, it doesn't appear that people is keeping it in mind. I saw this story too, Wordsmith. Uh, Two FBI agents was killed in Florida. I saw the headline rather. I didn't really look into the story, so I don't know what it's about. Right now I'm speaking more in terms of uh, some of the things that we starting to see in the community, you know what I'm saying? As a whole, the whole mainstream community that we are part of, but specifically as it, you know, problems is a little more urgent. Like there's a lot of things that, you can let go if everything is all right. You know what I'm saying? But the urgency of the situation appears to be lost on people. The amount that it takes, the discipline and everything that it takes in order for you to um accomplish some things. Like see when you deal with civil rights, right? You got certain key moments that we see all the time. Like you see, the march, the bus boycott, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta remember that for a year after, Martin Luther King and them came and they had all the photo ops. For a year after that, no black people rode the bus. Like, we're not in a situation where you could just press the button, you could just set it and forget it. And then, you know, what ends up happening is a couple of months later, you wondering, yo, why is this still happening? Because let's face it, ain't nothing new happening right now. Like if the cops beat somebody down tomorrow, if they wrongfully arrest somebody tomorrow, if they put somebody in slavery tomorrow, it won't be the first time. If they poison people water, you know what I'm saying? If they stand by and watch their neighborhood crumble, none of these things wouldn't be the first time. So at some point, when do it kick in, right? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. When does that kick in? You know what I'm saying? And which one of the main reasons we always give for these things happening? Yo, they not growing up like we grew up or whatever. That's what it's telling you. The culture, your way of life, your civilization, you strayed away from it and become savage. kids is doing things where it's like, yeah, you wasn't raised like that. Where'd you get that from? Because I started having a thought that, you got a lot of kids now that they growing up in, pretty much no parent households, and I don't want to discredit nobody, take away from what, women do, single mothers, single fathers, and, even more so the couples that's still together that's raising their kids, right? Yeah, Queen Mecca, uh, Alyssa Davis came in 793rd, self-out bill. But right now, you know what I'm saying? If don't get me wrong, there's reasons for that, where you got a situation where you got a situation where life is so stressful. You know what I'm saying? It takes so much, especially for a single parent or whatever to just provide survival, that, you just push the kids in front of their video games, push them in front of their computers and cell phones. And then, that's, there's not even a lot of dialogue there. Otherwise, how are these things happening? Like I said, we already know about the pressure that's coming from outside the community. We already know about what's happening with rap music. We already know, what's happening with politics. We already know what's happening with the economy. We already know what's happening with law enforcement. None of these issues is new. You can bring Frederick Douglass here right now, and he'd tell you, well, this was going on, you know what I'm saying, when I was doing what I was doing too. It's this you said here, District 120, the Aborigines of Australia and what they doing to those over there to this day is crazy. Yeah, that's a whole science. But, in some ways, we got to deal with Lord Omni Divine, Carmen's Omni. We got to save ourselves before we can save them. VC Realm said, just like if they try to kill under the mask of a riot. I mean, yeah, wouldn't be the first time. But like I said, being that it's not the first time, right? You kind of got an obligation not to let yourself be the person that it happens to. Not to let the people that you could build with, the people you able to deal with knowledge and wisdom and have them come to a clear mental picture. You got some kind of obligation to save those people. Because I'm saying, some things, it's not a comparison thing. Sometimes people get caught up in a comparison. Well, if they doing this in the church and we're the gods, why can't we? I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some validity to that. But see, what's even more valid is this who you say you are. This who, you say that S stand for self as savior. And so that's the point, you know what I'm saying? We're building on the discussion, you know, just looking at the issue, first of all, for what it is, because it's difficult to solve a problem that you don't know what the problem is. You can't identify the problem. You can't, uh, quantify it in any type of way so that you can come up with a solution. Self-Out Bill says, still trying to figure out what's the breaking point. How much straws will it take to break the camel's back? What is rock bottom, or is it easier to blame the devil? I mean, I don't know if you're talking about what I said, but yeah, that's what I think has to happen. It's a joke. You know what I'm saying? There was a Knicks player back in the days, Michael Ray Richardson, and Michael Ray Richardson, he came to the Knicks, after Walt Frazier and all of these guys, they all retired, got traded, whatever the case might have been. So the championship years, they was already behind us. And so one day, the Knicks had a bad game, and they asked Michael Ray Richardson, what's the problem? Michael Ray Richardson said, this ship be sinking. Then the announcer said, how low could it go? And Michael Ray Richardson said, sky's the limit. Now it was funny because he asked you how low could it go, and he said sky's the limit, but what he meant, is still clear. So what I'm saying that to say is, no matter how bad we think it is right now, apparently it ain't get bad enough. The illusion is still strong enough. The tactics that they use, right, is still effective enough. See, this is one of the reasons why they put this kind of stuff on the news, right? Is because, see, no matter how bad your situation is, if you got some other people to point to, right, to say that they beneath you, then the illusion remains strong enough. If you can, go buy something from Gucci, if you got the Yeezys on, if you got this kind of shades, then you got a good enough position in the system of white supremacy that you don't want to bring about a change. And you get enough people that don't want to bring about a change, right? That has an impact, on the people who don't even know there could be a change. There's some people that don't even know there could be a change. They think this is life. They don't understand the power that exists within them to really bring about a change. That's why a lot of them get caught up in the life that they caught up in, because they don't even know that a change could be made. This is regular. And then you got people who want to make a change, but they don't know how to make a change. So that's why, you can look at things, and that happens in all kinds of things in life where, you might see somebody and they smoking crack. And you like, don't they see themselves? Like, don't they, why would they want to keep doing that? And that person who, if something happens, maybe they get locked up, maybe they go to jail, right? So when they come out, they kick their habit. They good, they weight is up, base is clean, they talking, they that person that, before they went to crack, before they start smoking crack, they went to college. They speaking all of this type of, knowledge and wisdom, and then they go right back to it. to them, it hasn't been enough. It hasn't, even though to you it seems obvious, like you like, yo, man, how much lower could it go? Like what else you need to happen? Trust me, it's always like that. Now you think when the white man showed up, right? When the colored man showed up with the trading post, it was at least a couple of brothers that was like, nah, son, I don't get down. Like now, I don't know something like that. I ain't making no deal with him. And what the fuck is wrong with what the fuck is wrong with his skin? Why he look like that? All the way down to people, you know what I'm saying, who, they front and center, man. Yo, what's up, man? Yo, where y'all from, man? Yo, yeah, no doubt, man. We got this over here. Let's do business. See, for some people, just seeing them show up, like, dude, where you from, son? Why you look like that? But we talking about things that, look, we talking about thousands of years now. See, it's easy to analyze things from the outside sometimes. So see, we look at the Africans, right? Or we look at the brothers that's in Africa, right? And we say, yo, man, why y'all accepting the Chinese over there now? Don't y'all know better than that by now? They over there looking at us. Yo, man, why y'all still doing that black on black violence? Don't y'all know better than that by now? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah, man, Lord Savior, you know what I'm saying? Nah, we haven't hit rock bottom yet. Believe it or not, we haven't hit rock bottom. You understand what I'm saying? We're the results of going savage. See, a lot of times when you go savage, right? What does it say? Savage in the pursuit of happiness. And so there's a certain party time to going savage. They see a person start taking some type of drugs, look, for the first 2 weeks, man, it's party time. Until that thing really turns on them, until they really start seeing the results of going savage. Don Bishop, Don Bishop said, is the illusion stronger than the delusion? Meaning, are they lost because of the lack of knowledge or lost because they strayed away from the knowledge? Hmm. Um, hmm. That's a good question. Um, the delusion might be stronger at this point. I think I would go with the delusion being more related to what I'm talking about right now. Because like I said, see the illusion is what we know the colored man is dealing with. You understand what I'm saying? We know that this is dealing with, like when we deal with the wisdom of green and 114, you know what I'm saying? This is dealing with the trick knowledge that that Musa taught them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, creating uh the illusion, for instance, that something was going to happen about any of those cases, right, of police brutality that happened over the summertime, right? So, they arrest somebody to give us that illusion. But whatever is deluding us, as a people, whatever is deluding us enough um, to think to not see that there's a lot more work that has to be done, for us to achieve freedom, justice, and equality. You know what I'm saying? The delusion that Kamala Harris just getting in office is, so great of a thing that we have time to party. You know what I'm saying? The delusion that, people have where, when you deal with just in the neighborhood or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You deal with amongst Black people and, because like I said, you got the Yeezys on, you feel like you're rich. You're deluding yourself. You know what I'm saying? This is the delusion is searching searching for the mystery God for trillions of years. So it's definitely the illusion, is at the root of a lot of the delusions. You know what I'm saying? Now this could be something where because I've been dealing with this kind of thing the last couple of weeks, you know what I'm saying, last couple of days. But even some of the stuff that we believing in now on our own, like some of the stuff that we taking time to believe in, things that we taking time to, be studying, that, is you know, is not really related. It's not even a way to manifest that in a way. Like, how do you manifest flat earth science in a way that's going to be beneficial to us? Like right now, we in a cipher where, is a certain reality. Is that reality, would it even change if the earth is flat? And let me say, because I just said if the earth is flat, let me just say that absolutely does not reflect the views of the Random Jews channel. But that's a good question. You know what I'm saying? And, I would definitely say, the delusion, this is, a part of the four devils that we had to destroy in ourselves because, the delusion is what's making it so that you're not reaching your full capacity. You're not putting your full potential into kinetic energy, right? So you're not putting your full potential into kinetic, then when it says that, the devil's mental power is nothing in comparison to that of the original man, yeah, well, you ain't dealing with the power of the original man. You're dealing with something less than that because you're not putting your potential into kinetic form. I don't know, kinetic form is kind of because it's energy, it's not matter, but you're not putting it into kinetic flow. Queen Mecca, they taking all your comments out again today. Jonathan Kidd. So if our Bill said that happiness they in pursuit of a lot of times has negative repercussions, kind of find out that happiness was elusive and illusion overall. Yeah, especially because of the fact that, you know what I'm saying, it says you in the pursuit of it. See, you can't chase a fear. See, anytime you see a person chasing an illusion, when the emotion really exists within you, the emotion really is about your thoughts. That's why you could see somebody, right? And they would, it could be anything. You know what I'm saying? And you like, yo, man, you know what I mean? This thing that you got right here is dope, man. You're not happy with this? Because the happiness is not in them. You know what I'm saying? You got this, you know what I'm saying? And you chasing that over there because the happiness is not in them. You can chase love, but if the love is not in you, you ain't gonna catch it. So see right there from the jump, you that's savage. You know what you're dealing with is wisdom knowledge. You're trying to make things that's outside of you, you know what I'm saying, affect what's going on inside of you. Yeah, we breathe in oxygen, we take in things from the atmosphere, right? And we turn it into different levels of, you know, energy, matter, everything. This is what, we feed off of and all of this. But we take that in so that something happens inside of us. See, how we react to oxygen, that got something to do with us and how we are. Meaning, look, fish react with the oxygen differently. Vegetation reacts to the oxygen differently because they don't have the same characteristics as us. Smell good said, is illusion the ill us and I is on. Ah man, um, wordsmith. I think you should open your own school because this kind of analysis of language that you do is picking up like wildfire. Don Bishop said, indeed, so the illusion the devil gives us is self-apparent. The delusion that we place upon ourselves is self-inflicted. So we are more delusional than anything. The devils that we create. Yeah, that's the point of what I'm saying right now is, how do we destroy the delusion? You know what I'm saying? Is people of war different, you balling, you gangster, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these things you delusion in yourself. You know what I'm saying? While you on the road to ruin, you think you balling. As W said, we multi-dimensional people and objects living on a sheet of paper. Flat Earth 101. Hey man. Hey. Oh, Shakima, you got gunshots, huh? Wait till I get down. I got a couple comments to I'm gonna be down there. We're gonna We're gonna get down to your comments in a minute. Be Righteous said, kinetic is the activation of application. Smell Good said, reminds me of the treasure trash phrase. What you mean, one man's trash is another man's treasure? Don Bishop said, that's going back to my man George Bell, crybaby, cop killer. He was dissatisfied with all right. Who is this? Oh, Sincere Shakima. Thanks for that cash out right there. Greatly appreciated. You know, the Random Jews channel. Can always use some support. But what you said here, George Bell was dissatisfied with all that his parents gave him and wanted or chose to live a savage life. Queen's Casualty. Yeah, I recall this story, but I can't put it. I like the name and the little nickname right there, Cryberry Cop Killer. I recall that, but I don't. What was that about again? So yeah, Shakima, how's the weather? It's pretty bad out there right now. It's not really cold, but yeah, we got about some spots it looks like about a foot of snow. I don't know how much what was the final tally, but it's still coming down right now. So we see what happens. You know, how are things out in sunny California? I heard things have gotten so bad that y'all about to recall the mayor again. Who y'all bringing back? Arnold? Y'all bringing back Schwarzenegger? Kendall Rowland. Lord Savior Allah says, social media definitely magnified the keeping up with the Joneses mentality. We are very envious people, and until we can subdue that devil, it is going to be hard to succeed as a whole. Yeah, that's a high power statement right there. That's a high power statement. You know, I can't disagree with it. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's a part of being in America too, though. You know what I'm saying? Like the individualism and everything. You know what I'm saying? So that people value, you know, a little trinket you could get over the society that you're building for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like these is the things that you know, that's definitely a big one right there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, see y'all I get caught up with the wordsmith. And I don't mess with the wordsmith. Omar Hashem. Peace. What did you say right here? Where's smell good? You said, what is that called? What was that? She came and said she sent me some coffee money. You know, I don't drink coffee. Coffee is for old people. Let me tell you another thing what I seen about coffee. Like I drank some coffee one time and I realized I drank some coffee one time and I realized like why it's wars. And like, when people come home and they tell you, oh, they had all these problems at work, it's that coffee. Like that should get you hyped, man, where you drink a cup of coffee, you get on the phone with the other diplomat and he say something loose, like what? I said, don't make me send the Marines, G. Don't make I know you ain't talking to me. I just drank this coffee. So now I don't drink coffee, man. It's for old people. She came and said I just left New Jerusalem and barely could leave. They kept canceling my flight. Yep. So you back over there? You back in Cali? All right, so Gasaki Dewan said George Bell killed a check cashing teller and an undercover cop. He wasn't about that life, but he wanted to be. They put him on suicide watch. Not gonna say who else was involved. Uh, I mean, the peer pressure, is crazy. And that's a level of having knowledge of self, man. You know what I'm saying? Being able to go amongst the Romans and not getting caught up in what the Romans is doing. Like I said, I can respect the Romans' law. And wherever I'm at, this is how y'all get down over here. I'm not here to disrupt everything you're doing and cause no trouble, for you or for me. L7 came in. But I still got knowledge of self. I still know certain things, what I'm saying, I'm not going to deal with. Certain things I'm about, certain things I'm not about. That's where peer pressure catches up to people who really don't know what they're about. You know what I'm saying? So, maybe they don't even have an idea. Maybe that seed of knowledge of self wasn't really planted in them a lot of times. And so they out there experiment with this, experiment with that. You know what I'm saying? Or, you got some people who chasing happiness. Like I said, so, you lived a certain type of life, you know what I'm saying? But, what you want to do is, experiment with other things that wasn't a part of your life. So like you said with this George Bell, you know what I'm saying? You didn't grow up like that, but you see other people doing that, so you want to experiment with that. You know what I'm saying? Or you grew up, in a certain kind of household, everything was good, but you see people who are taking drugs and it looks like fun, so you hit the pipe with them. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the different things is, you're not making a decision based on, who you are and really what you do. So that's, even with this, that's why you see people come, people go. Because some people just came in out of the peer pressure. This is why you see that some people, they could go somewhere for years, for decades. They move away from the neighborhood or whatever, they move to Alaska. And when you see them again, they still the God because this is what they was about. This was really their own self. And some people go somewhere like that and, it fades away because they really only got this from the peer pressure. You know what I'm saying? They got it because, it was the style at whatever time, rather it was because a rapper said he was dealing with this, or rather it was because the toughest dudes in your neighborhood, uh, got with this, or rather it was because, the brother that rock or that jury that get the money, he was dealing with this, or, that brother that, every time you see him, he always with all the baddest women, in around. These are a lot of reasons. These are the reasons why people get attracted to this. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing for that to be the magnetic that make you pay attention. But if that's the reason why you got the knowledge and then you never come to the realization during a time, like there's some things your parents might get you into. Your parents might say, look, I'm going to take you to piano lessons. You know what I'm saying? Or your pops might take you out to the basketball court. And then you realize, yeah, I like this right here. You know what I'm saying? Why can't we come out here every day? You know, uh, that happens, you know what I'm saying, where you get involved in something and you find yourself, you find something that vibrates on your frequency, you know what I'm saying? To get a little pseudo. Yeah, alkaline water and Irish moss for me. Speaking of that, you just reminded me. Yeah, go get a spoonful. Yeah, that coffee, right? The coffee, man. Yeah, if you get the jitters, you can't, you know what I'm saying? Like for me, if I drank a couple times. It took me like a day to come down. Christopher Gooden, coffee smells bad. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like yeah, people, you got people that they respond to that. You know what I'm saying? Like they smell the coffee and they perk up. Yeah, for me, I don't. I guess it's one of the things that you got to experience the feeling, like one of those Pavlovian things. You know what I'm saying? Where you got to associate the smell with whatever, because I smell coffee, it don't affect me. Define reality. What's the deal? Divine reality said if we are to truly take ownership with our knowledge, we have to remember Yakub was an original man that found happiness in his pursuit of making the devil through manufacturing. You know, uh, you know, that's something that was a topic a while back. Divine. Can the devil can the devil fool a Muslim? You know what I'm saying? To even take that out, can the devil fool the true and living God? Can the devil fool God? Does anybody recall that topic? I'll leave that open for somebody to put the answer in the chat room. You know what I'm saying? Before I build on before I go into that. Whoa, 30 inches of snow in some parts of New Jersey. Oh, yeah, some parts of New Jersey and Long Island. It's gonna be a minute before y'all get up. Might be summertime. It might be summertime by the time. It might be summertime by the time. That's a wrap, man. He came and said, I just made it back. I had to go to Washington, then Houston, then California just to get back. They closed the airport at 11 a.m. Wait, you had to go to Washington, D.C., right? I Now you're not saying you had to go to Washington State. It must be Washington, D.C. I'm not even going to be foolish. Let me just say that's Washington, D.C. Yeah, I had a situation like that one time where I can't even recall where I was, but it was like a snowstorm that it was like all over the country. You know what I'm saying? And then it was that, wherever it was, like it was like on the whole East Coast or whatever it was one of those situations where I kept getting stranded at a particular airport. And so eventually I just started just taking the plane, just getting as close to New York as I could. And I got to Philly, and then his brothers came and got me. But I've been through that type of thing, man, where I was already on the plane. I had already moved from my starting point. So it was like, yo, I could either stay in the airport or I could. So yeah, I chose to just keep advancing until I got to Philly. Everybody do the each one teach one and hit the like button. Queen Mecca, all your comments getting deleted today. I don't know what you're saying. Oh man, y'all going in, y'all going in the all the brothers here with the English language according to who is it now? It's L7 Wordsmith. With you gonna let Smell Goods write the forward. Our Savior said, if the conscious community, those with knowledge of self, can't come together on one accord, how do we expect the 85% to get on board? Being a savage and demon time is what's in right now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. To, even have this type of mentality, you know what I'm saying? Because there's reasons on both sides. The devil is not all powerful. So right now, even if we say, yo, if we go back a couple hundred years and we say, yo, how did the devil, conquer this whole continent from the Indians? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're gonna tell a story about the colored man and the things that they did, but the reality is, even when you go into the history, the reason they was able to do these things was because so much separation existed between the people that they was attacking. You know what I'm saying? Even when you deal with Africa, you know what I'm saying? There was so much separation between the people that all they had to do was come and work themselves into the cracks. See, the people was already divided so they could conquer. Then they conquered it and divided them some more. So you're right about that. You know what I'm saying? Certain things, it ain't urgent enough for everybody. It's not urgent enough for us to say, well, look, I don't want to hear about this. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to argue about this thing right now. If we got this problem, we got, whatever the problem may be, we got this issue right here that we got to deal with that is bigger than the separations. The biggest thing I would say about that, you know what I'm saying, Lord Savior, you added on right here, being righteous isn't cool anymore. The biggest thing I would add on to that is the going adding on to something that Don Bishop said, the delusion that we've left religion alone is very strong. because that's what it is. It's a religiousness. You know what I'm saying? That, hey, look, I can't deal with that person because, you know, they doing something or they saying something that's against what I see as right. You know what I'm saying? I can't, just be pro righteousness. I gotta be pro whatever, whatever is the science that I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? But it don't take a lot of people to provide the leadership. It don't take a lot of people for them to see providing an example that people could look at. Because people do look at these things. Like when you look at the people right now, you know what I'm saying? They imitating Death Row. They're imitating Lil Wayne. They're imitating Jay-Z. They're imitating the people that they seen be successful. And so that's why the people that you're saying is conscious, they have to provide an example for the people to be able to look at and say, okay, yeah, this is the way to be right here. You know what I'm saying? Drowning people ain't just going to save themselves. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get it twisted. In some instances, man, people gotta pay the price. You see, all that above is caused by the Son of Man. But guess what? A lot of that stuff below, you on your own with that. That's what his degree tell you. All that above is caused by the Son of Man. See, you go out there into the world, man, you know what I'm saying, and be a savage in the pursuit of happiness, then the stripes you get beat with is your own. See, I'm Christ, but I'm not that Christ. I'm not the Christ that's going to suffer for your sins. You that Christ. Yeah, see, be righteous recalls. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you said, now why? Hallelujah. Oh man, come on, what are you talking about here now? I mean, but the answer to that question, you know, can a devil fool God? The answer is yes. If it's a devil that you created. See, people make the devil and fool themselves all the time that you're doing the right thing. See, that's the most dangerous devil. That's why you got to understand what you build. Then why did God make devil? You got to understand what you build, because if you don't understand what you build, it can destroy you. See, if you don't understand what you build, then yeah, you would be delusioning yourself that you did the right thing. So people create these devils and fool themselves that they're doing the right thing all the time. But see, if you're on point, right? If you didn't lose track of where this came from, see, that's what it tells you. Do you mean to say the devil fooled him 379 years ago, right? Now, what that borns? 379. That's all being born in knowledge. So what is the foundation of when you was full? You understand what I'm saying? Yes, the trader made an inter-orientation. Yes, you fell for the okie doke. See, let's include that part too. He made an inter-orientation and you fell for the okie doke. You got a good point right there too, self-I-Bill. If you fool yourself, you can be fooled by others. Becomes your mindset. So you fooling yourself with something you're doing, right? And then somebody who you think is helping you do this thing, right? Or they helping you do this thing, but all they doing is speeding up. All they doing is speeding up your destruction. But you under the impression that these are your friends, the people that's giving you this that's increasing your ability to make the devil. Your doctors, ministers, nurses, and cremators in this. Divine truth. Ooh, that's a loaded question right there, District 120. Okay, before we get into that, this is a Hotep channel, and the views about to be expressed may or may not indicate the true views of the Random Jews channel. The District 120 Music said, do you think spirituality was designed to attack the women? I mean, do you mean like in the new age? I don't know if you mean like, the way it's going down right now. What I can say from my own experience, just in life, the women respond to it better. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was in Christianity, it was the women that was extremely strong, in, being indoctrinated and in introducing the youth to the indoctrination. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things that women could do, right? And a lot of their powers is unseen. You know what I'm saying? Esoteric means, internal knowledge. Exoteric is external knowledge. You know what I'm saying? From, growing and giving birth to babies to producing milk, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of they powers is unseen by the naked eye, I'm saying. Not that it's unseen that we don't, have knowledge and wisdom of, what's happening. But even with knowledge and wisdom of what's happening, that don't change that is unseen by the naked eye. And so, I can't say per se that that's the reason. When I hear them talking, that's what it sounds like, though. You know what I'm saying? That, women don't have You know, they don't have big muscles. That's not the strength that they have. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think when the kind of principles that the spiritualists teach, and, you know, when they start talking about that stuff, that, uh, you know, it resonates with them. Now, that being said, I do think there's a lot of charlatans out there. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, because listen, since I've been on Clubhouse, I've learned a whole new lingo, you know, shadow work and all this kind of stuff. Like I've never even heard, like right now, I haven't built up the courage to ask one of them, what is shadow work? Like, is that like shadow boxing? What is shadow work? You know what I'm saying? You know, emotions, all of this type of stuff is unseen. So, you know, but you know, at this point, yeah, you got people just telling women all types of stuff as their powers. And the reason why no one bears witness is because it's unseen. And so you see some of them on a mission to kind of make you submit to these unseen powers. And look, there's, you know, dudes submit every day. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, cats submit a day, B. So, you know, that's a good question. You know, shout out to the spiritual people. Uh, but you know, it's not per se my way of life. You know, I don't know if it's very compatible, you know what I'm saying, with uh, you know, my personality. What am I here? Divine Reality said, the question is, do we see Yaqub as God or the devil? The devil can fool a Muslim, but he can never fool the true and living God because the true and living is all I see. Well, you know, that's been a big question for years. You know, my personal way of looking at it is if we say Yaqub is the devil, then the devil made devil. You know what I'm saying? It says God made devil. You know what I'm saying? It says that Yaqub was an original black man, you know what I'm saying? Whereas any grafted man is the devil. So I say Yaqub is God. What you say here, District 120, that's like the unseen mystery that was placed upon them. Women seem to be on spiritual time, digging up stones, dealing with chakras, etc. And the men seem to be on demon time. Um, you know, uh, like I said, you know, now I guess, you know, looking at it from the other aspect, because I kind of already got into, you know, why, you know, women might be attracted to things that speak about unseen powers. You know what I'm saying? You know, see that demon time is an external science. Because see, the devil can't just be the devil in himself. He got to go out and do some negativity to people. You got to go tell some lies. You got to do some stealing. You got to do some trying to master the original man. Like if you just stay in the corner and you negative, Yeah, I ain't got to take your head. Why I got to take your head is because if you was allowed to live, you would surely sting someone else. So see that demon time, that's an external science. That's something that you do, that you go out and you know, exert your force against other brothers. You know what I'm saying? You go out there and you shoot somebody. I mean, that's basically what it appears to boil down to. Demon time. You go out and you stab somebody, jump somebody. This is demon time. You know what I'm saying? So I would say, you know what I'm saying? That's why, or that's one of the reasons why, you see brothers being attracted to that, and you see the sisters being attracted to the spirituality. Yeah, the women. I mean, it's you know, it's a it's I guess it's empowering. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Queen Mecca or Shakim could tell us. I can't really uh it's you know see, for me, it's something that I kind of recognize from the church too. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you get a lot of these preachers, and that's the kind of thing they talking about. Uh, when they telling the women how, you know, uh, men is evil, and what I'm saying, you have to be in the spirit and all of these types of things, you know what I'm saying? So you know that you have some women that's kind of married to Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, that's got to do with the shadow work. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm drawing a blank because I haven't, I'm not all that well versed in the spirituality aspect. You know what I'm saying? I just heard some people who speaking on it. You know what I'm saying? But like, I heard the one woman, she said she could shapeshift. She's a shapeshifter. And so some of it too, uh, and this is more, we going into my opinion now. Some of it is, slightly indicative of emotional challenges, uh, you know, who, you know, challenges to sanity there. What's going on with my jump up today? Trying to get to the comments here. Oh man, yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. You just all right. West Coast Wise just got his merch. But you got the hat with you got the God Cypher hat, right? District 120 said the Savage movement came years ago, about 2008, with the drill movement. They was going savage when I don't like came out 300. Oh, and I Don't Like came out with 300. I mean, yeah, you know, uh, these is definitely ways of referring to yourself that I'm not used to. You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up being a 5%. You know what I mean? So around the same times that these dudes get on demon time, you know what I'm saying? I was getting on God time. So, it's hard for me to pinpoint when a lot of things happening. But y'all was taking each other's strings off your book bag with this Jan Sport stuff. I didn't know that was happening either. Sometimes I'm out the loop. I do recall when the movement started coming out of Chicago, I started hearing that type of terminology. You know what I'm saying? I would say it probably started developing with Snoop though. Like, even NWA, they still was dropping a little bit of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? They still was, kind of talking about, they was talking about immorality, but still from a standpoint of, okay, there's certain standards that exist. You know what I'm saying? When Snoop came out, fuck peace and all of that type of stuff, that's when I would say I first started seeing it go left. Of course, nothing in comparison to what's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? But what kind of changed, at least the hip hop movement, you know what I'm saying, to where, everybody started getting all G'd up and everything. Because I don't even know this word, 7930. Got the whole country saying on for them. I don't even know what that is. Self-Help Bill said we got to start defining. Why does my thing keep jumping today? Divine understanding. Mr. Spot, I'm trying to, I gotta stay closer to the comments today or something. I have to. All right, so yeah, Self-Help Bill said we got to start defining what success means to us, not Hollywood or its cohorts. Absolutely. That's one of the things that's happened is when they pick our heroes, the people that they pick, even if they're not necessarily detrimental to us, they often not beneficial. This is a now wide thing to wear your hat 24/7. This is how you gotta rock it. See, this is another kind of, you gotta let them know where we're from. See, without that, y'all might get confused. We don't want that happening. Don Bishop says, so the word happiness is not an indefinite word, meaning what makes one happy does not mean it's righteous. Oh, absolutely not. If you're chasing it, you know what I'm saying? Happiness is something that comes from within you. You know what I'm saying? Just like hate is something that comes from within you. Like a person, there's only a certain amount, if you a certain, if you don't really got it in you, yeah, I don't like that person, I just stay away from them. But to really go out of your way to hate on somebody. You know what I'm saying? That really exists within you. You know what I'm saying? How many people is in pursuit of hate? How many people is in pursuit of unhappiness? See, they all emotions too. But people chase some of them and they never really catch it. Divine Reality says, I was taught pro-righteousness and anti-establishment. So do we unite with that establishment in the 38th degree states a bit differently? Well, no, we're not uniting with establishment. You know, I mean, you know, people, I don't think you can necessarily classify people seeing things how they see it as establishment. You know what I'm saying? You know, that I think is, you know, that's where we go overboard and become religious, because that is religion. See, if we build and, you know, we come to a clear mental picture and I see it and you see it, right? And then you say, you know, now that I see things like this, I'm gonna live things out like that. That's one thing. You know what I'm saying? But if you just doing it because I said do it, or you doing it because I'm doing it, now you've entered into religion. See, there's no difference in you doing it because the Bible says do it, or you doing it because Abraham did it thousands of years ago, or Musa did it, or Jesus did it, or the Pope said do it, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, uniting, what I'm saying is, you know, say a dude is a Hebrew Israelite, right? But you know, it's you know, we gonna give our book bags. Let's say to go back to school, we're gonna give our school supplies. You know what I'm saying? You know, just because they're a Hebrew Israelite, that's not no reason not to do it. You know what I'm saying? And even to the degree that of you providing that example, you know what I'm saying, for dudes that's out there, you know, one dude might be in this gang and the other dude might be in that gang. You know what I'm saying? But if they see us being successful by coming together, that might spark them to say, yo, you know what? You know, I don't really like them cats like that. But I see how we can advance our situation. You know what I'm saying? Because see, it happens with things like drugs. It happens with things like drugs, where you see, you know, all of a sudden now we could cross the line, you know, we can cross the line over and over. So, you know, I would just wouldn't classify, you know, them as you know, that as establishment. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at least the separations that I see, you know, between the different groups, the different nations or whatever, the different, you know, the differences that I see, you know, they theological and philosophical. You know what I'm saying? But when it really comes down to, you know, making whatever science you got, if it comes down to you making it walk and talk, You know what I'm saying? If it comes down to, yo, you being a Christian, but you want to come out in the neighborhood and be like Jesus and feed the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like Jesus fed all these people with a loaf of bread and fish or whatever, right? And you say, well, look, because of that, what I want to do, like Jesus, is have a food pantry or something where we give out food to people that need it. See that you making that signs, walk, and talk now. You're making it really mean something, in the three-dimensional world that we live in, like SW was saying, instead of just the two-dimensional world of that paper. So you're making it something like right now, I could tell you about it and you can hear it in your ear, but when you make it real, then it becomes what? Oh, look at that. I got a thumbs down, y'all. I'm doing it big. I'm doing it big today. Got a little thumbs down. You know what I mean? Shout out to the God. Everybody do the each one, teach one. Hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down today. It don't even make a difference. When did that come? I bet that happened when I was talking about the spirituality. You see you got me in trouble. Self I built. Or who's that? District 120? I knew it was coming. But whoever you are, I just want you to know that this is a Hotep channel. Apparently you didn't hear the disclaimer. But I'm telling you, she said she could shapeshift, man. Plus goes wise to love plus peace equals happiness. This is she talking about. Stretch the true views. I mean, if I start talking, if we start changing this into a spiritualist show, Queen Lucky, you didn't get one comment through today. Yeah, that's the divine feminine. This this is this is this is all a part of it. You know what I'm saying? It resonates with them. What can you say? You know what I'm saying? The black woman is God. Yes. Look, when you get on that app, that's all you see on there. That's why I don't really say nothing because that's if they got their world that they created, that's what they want to exist in. I've been said it for years. I continue to say it that, look, I'd rather you be a good Christian, I'd rather you be a good Hebrew Israelite, a good Muslim, than for you to be a fake 5%. You know what I'm saying? That's my model. That's how I see things. One second here. Yeah, SW, you know, they burn some sage, burning sage, you know, all this type of stuff. District 120 said, from what I saw, the Fox sisters started that spiritualism in which they said in 1888 they were lying about contacting spirits and spiritual manifestations. It's documents on it. Who's the Fox sisters? I never heard of the Fox sisters. I'm gonna add on to that. Who's the Fox sisters? You need me to beam you up? You need me to beam you up into the lounge so you can talk about that? Yes. Yeah, it's a lot of healing, a lot of healers, lot of healers, a lot of, you know, I'm just being introduced to it right now. See, I'm one of those people that like who whatever is evil in that kind of spirituality, like you know how, you know, the devil got a certain description in Christianity, whatever is the description of evil in that is probably me. And so they don't talk to me about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like even in the nation, none of the goddesses ever come up to me. You know what I'm saying? They don't ever present this stuff to me. So I don't really know what a lot of it is about. West Coast wise said then it goes into what's the real devil. See, that's what happens when I talk too long and then I lose track of what some of these comments is about. Oh, 793rd, was you listening to that? Yeah, the girl, she did say that. The girl that was a shapeshifter, the woman that was a shapeshifter, she said that she gave her baby to some aliens. And that she said she gave her baby to some aliens and that the men in black came by her house. Not by her house, by her job. And scared her supervisor, all this kind of stuff, you know. Uh, you know. Oh man, the worst. You coming with daggers right now, man. See, Don Bishop, apparently you understand this type of stuff. Don Bishop said the women change their shape when they are about to give birth. Maybe you should go into those. Maybe you should. Maybe you should go into those groups, man. You know, you might be able to. You might be able to you might be able to do some teaching. Oh man, y'all going in, smell good. This is a Hotep channel. Hold up, I'm trying to catch up in the comments here. And Queen Michael, what's going on with your comments? I think you gotta get a new account. They take off every one of your comments. BFR Global came in. BFR Global said on phone Chicago slang for on your people or set. Yeah, I ain't never hear that one. Sincere Shakim, I don't know. She was in here earlier. West Coast Wise said the Queen telling me to ask you whether the God cipher on the snapback is the same or means the same as our universal flag. Well, it's not the same. You know what I'm saying? Did she mean that does it stand for man, woman, and child? Yes, it still stands for man, woman, and child, but it's not the universal flag. Man, y'all going in over here. Rakeem came in. Peace to the God. Trying to catch up here in the comments, man, y'all. Side rallies is juicy today. Mrs. Spock said the Haitians been out here doing voodoo way before a lot of this stuff. I mean, I think that do have an impact too, Mrs. Spock. You bring up a good point. You know what I'm saying? Is that, spiritualism and all of that is something that is dealt with a lot in Africa. You know what I'm saying? Voodoo is, it comes from there. So it could just be an aspect of something that, people is used to doing, people is used to dealing with, and it keeps getting passed down. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're gonna look up the Fox sisters. Let me get to the end of this. 3 sisters from New York is the Fox sisters. Luke Cage. So the Fox sisters, the two younger sisters used rappings to convince their older sister and others that they were communicating with spirits. Their older sister then took charge of them and managed their careers from Hodgeville, New York. Yeah, I gotta look them up. I ain't even, and this is where this is like the forerunner to like Queen Afua. So what's Coach Wise said a while ago? Oh, she tried to buy the universal flag pendant. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out, man, who is the source of that? Like, how did that end up becoming a reality? That's super crazy to me. That's super crazy to me. Well, what's the difference? Well, the first difference is the colors. You know, everything on the flag, it means something. You know what I'm saying? The 8-pointed cipher means something. Uh, in the name of means something. You know what I'm saying? You know, so you got a lot of elements that's the same. You know what I'm saying? But I added on some creativity to it. You know what I'm saying? To come up with my version of expressing man, woman, and child like that. But the flag, the way it is the flag. You know what I'm saying? Would somebody look at that and recognize it? Is somebody gonna look at that uh, and say, and ask you if you're a 5%er? Yeah. But if you started telling somebody the meaning to it, you know what I'm saying? You don't have the 90 degrees between the big points, the 45 degrees between the small points. You don't have the 8 points on the cipher. The colors is different. You know what I'm saying? This is, in terms of the colors and the symbols that I use on there, it's something I've been doing since I was a kid. So, anything I do, you know what I'm saying, is gonna have, like if I make this channel right here, I'm gonna come up with a title, Random Jewels. You know what I'm saying? The jewels being understanding. You know what I'm saying? And this not being, this is not math class or history class or physics class or chemistry class. We deal with all that. You know what I'm saying? So it's random jewels. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's still expressing that, we deal with the science of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, but I don't have I don't have other things to make stuff out of. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't, if you got apples, you probably gonna make, you're gonna make applesauce, apple pie, apple cider, et cetera, et cetera. You're always gonna tell that it came from the apples though. You know what I'm saying? So you're always gonna look at something that I did and say, yo, this brother right here must be a 5%. You know what I'm saying? But the universal flag that was designed by Universal Shamgar. The God Cipher hat was designed by me. Right, Luke Cage finally. Yeah, bring it back home, Luke Cage, because they going crazy in there. But Luke Cage says, speaking of going savage, you heard of the young brother who killed his father, mother, brothers and sisters, including one of his brother's pregnant girlfriend. Yeah, you took him out in was that Tennessee? And it happened because the father had told the kid that you can't go outside without permission. That's the type of thing what I'm saying where it's like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I know it's a real devil. I know it's the mental and physical powers of a real devil. I know about being made blind, deaf, and dumb by the devil when they were babies. You see, you gotta remember, man, no matter what happens to you, whether it's good or bad, it's something about you that caused that to happen. Even if that something is just that you was in the wrong place at the wrong time. There's something about you, there's something that you did or didn't do that made you subject to that. See, just like we talk about the prison industrial complex, right? Now, don't get me wrong, you got your innocent people that's in there, but even with them, like I said, sometimes it's just being at the wrong place at the wrong time. So yeah, the devil is there locking people up. But see, it's something about you that caused him to have that power over you. It's something about you that gave him the power to lock you up. You didn't understand what you was building. So, yeah, Luke Cage, that's a story that I actually left out in the beginning when I started talking about the topic, because I was thinking about that before I had went live. But absolutely, like, what is this culture that we have now, what I'm saying, of, so much death, the creativity, the life. This is not what shines through right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you listen to rap music, and what makes the stars, what makes them at the top of the game now is how ganged up you are. You know what I'm saying? If you're all ganged up, this trumps your creative ability to make good music. You see what I'm saying? That's something that, whether it's coming from the outside or inside, is something that we allowing to live in our culture, something we allowing to live in our cipher, and it's stinging us again and again and again. Like you said, in this situation, it stung 6 times. He killed 6 people. And he shot his little brother too. He shot one of his little brothers, but fortunately, he got up and ran. But he chased him down and shot him. He just didn't die. They said he was expected to make it. See, now we're becoming too much like the beasts in the jungle. We're not just adapting to the jungle. We're not just learning how to hunt. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be hunting in one place, you go someplace else. Look, ain't no deers over here, son. So now you got to learn the habits of this new animals that's over here so you could be successful. Or maybe it's not no new animal. You got to learn which plants is the plants that you can eat over here. This has become adapted to the jungles that you in. But see, if you start eating raw meat and shit like that, biting the head off and shit, now you become like the beast out there in the field. You know what I'm saying? Is and you got to look at how that's making it hard. You know what I'm saying? That's giving us a hard time building our culture into a whole civilization. You know what I'm saying? That you got a culture and you got a group of people that's living that out till y'all have a society, you know what I'm saying, of men, women, and children for one common cause. And then as that continues to grow and develop, now you got a whole civilization where people could look back and say, yeah, this is how life was in that civilization. These are the things that was produced by that society. We having a hard time doing that. I got Queen Mecca in there talking about the tension. Oh man, y'all got the wordsmith going. You must have just came on vacation again. Remember that time the wordsmith went on vacation and he and he came back. He came back rapid fire. District 120 said they started the spiritualist movement, and when they admitted to it being not real, and then they admitted to it not being not real, but the people still ran with the idea. You know, that's what Don Bishop was talking about. The illusion versus the delusion. You know what I'm saying? See, when something is on that type of religious level like that, you can't it's nothing you could do, because the people is gonna say, well, I don't know, maybe they was lying, but I've had this experience with it. This, this is I'm telling you, I'm telling you my truth right now. You know what I'm saying? So these things ultimately, they unfalsifiable, especially to the person who believes in it. And so even if the people who started it come out and admit that, yeah, we was really BSing you, this is how it still can exist, man. That's religion. So District 120, going more into the Fox family, said, the Fox sisters said in 1851, Mrs. Norman Culver, a relative of the Fox family, admitted in a signed statement that she had assisted them during their seances by touching them to indicate when the raps should be made. She also claimed that Kate and Margaretta revealed to her the method of producing the raps by snapping their toes and using their knees and ankles. There you go. There you go, wordsmith. Fox equals 666. Tommy Robinson. All right, West Coast wise. Tell Miss West Coast I said that's peace. UK said also the 22-year-old brother who shot and killed his mom because she told him be a man and get a job. This happened in Harlem? Because that was another case that, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. And see, when you got this many things that's happening. And let me tell you another thing too now, from the outside. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, it's not lost on me how all of a sudden these stories is being covered. Where, black man goes crazy, kills family. Black man goes crazy, kills mother. Black man goes crazy, kills two women on a live stream. Now, of course, I'm looking ahead here, but I'm saying don't be surprised, right? If this type of thing starts coming up as the reason why we can't do, let's say, prison reform to the degree that we wanted to. Like we was gonna end all this private jail stuff, but I mean, we're in the midst of these crazed Negroes, and they can't be dealt with by regular means. We can't just give them some pills or some therapy or whatever it might be. You know what I'm saying? Be aware of that narrative too. But at the same time, like I said, you know what I mean? We giving them the power to make that narrative. So if we don't destroy it in one day, we will see that narrative come back to destroy us. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying just, the narrative, I'm talking about the behavior. You know what I'm saying? Like if you did that, me changing it to rosier languages, changing just the narrative is not going to do nothing. But whatever's the seeds that is sprouting this type of behavior, we got to get those out the garden. What? 793 said just witnessed a news line about an individual who hired two hitmen to kill the niece he allegedly raped. Some child killed his grandmother, and a couple tried to rush a plane or something. Yeah, this, either the reporting has changed to where this, this type of stuff, like, maybe this stuff was always happening and it just wasn't coming to my attention. You know what I'm saying? But, if, this is indicative of an increase in these types of things, in the greater society and in our society too. See, like, remember a couple years ago, you kept having those mass shooters. And, like always happens, a lot of black people was, yeah, well, that's white people. Yeah, that's not, just don't hang around white people, it won't happen. But this kind of crazy behavior, man, you know what I'm saying, is definitely seeping into, our communities, man, our way of life, man, certain things where you like, yo, listen. And, there's lots of reasons for that, we could discuss, but, just in general, be aware of this stuff. Be aware that, somewhere in the midst of you, you know what I'm saying, these seeds might be being planted in young brothers and sisters that you know. Because none of these people is going to come out and say, yeah, that happened. Yeah, you know what, I raised them to do that. I raised them to kill the whole family. If, how was these seeds planted? We got to be aware and keep the snakes out the garden. FDJB said, cats is willingly dumb. You either destroy or build. So without knowledge of self, this is how they move. I mean, you're right about that. You know what I'm saying? When presented, with the facts, with presented the truth of the circumstance and situation, we see a lot of people will double down. You know what I'm saying? Like if you express to somebody that's on demon time that, we about pro-righteousness and anti-establishment, they're gonna, in this day and time, they're gonna invite you to their province. Something that was strictly a no-no. Something that was strictly a no-no now is, I hear this all the time. From dudes that's supposed, dudes that's gangster. They, going around saying this stuff. So, can't dispute you. So if our Bill said, do you think pop culture has an influence on these irrational occurrences of violence, such as video games, movies, music, etc., or is it that a cop out and not taking accountability? Well, the reason why I don't think it's a cop out is because the accountability is already not being taken. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you was in the room, but I spoke on that earlier, how, especially you dealing with these single mothers a lot of times that's raising kids, you know what I'm saying? They don't have all that good of a gig. So, you know what I'm saying? They struggling just to provide survival. You know what I'm saying? And so, if they got something, the video game, the movies or whatever that they could buy the child, you know what I'm saying? And, you occupied. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm already stressed out from work. I'm stressed out about the bills. I'm stressed out about all types of situations. You know what I'm saying? And so, a lot of these kids now is really coming from no parent homes. You know what I'm saying? Like the parent is there, but, if you got a kid that don't even come out the room, you know what I'm saying, except to use the bathroom and eat, right? Then, it's already not the accountability of raising the child. You understand what I'm saying? That, through advancing knowledge and wisdom to them, I'm saying. Like, yeah, you feeding them, they got food, they got clothing, they got shelter, right? But you're not giving them the knowledge and wisdom. You see what I'm saying? So because, like, yeah, you could see that, you know what I'm saying? But if your parents teach you better than some things, you can see that all day and it not have the same impact. But because right now you got that type of separation going on between the children and the parents, then yeah, it's starting to have a much bigger impact, than it did before. Hmm. Be righteous and sometimes you be in the right place, right time, but wrong state of mind. Indeed. You know, every place is going to be the wrong place in the wrong time when you're in the wrong state of mind, be righteous. Tommy Robinson says spirituality deals with individualism. I think it does too, but it also has the aspect, because I asked I asked the question to the sister that deals with that, and she was telling me that the spiritual aspect of everything is kind of, your connection to everything, like these hitting type of chords or whatever that tie you to everything in the universe or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so, even though it's on an individual level, because that's kind of the only way for you to experience spirituality, you know what I'm saying? Uh, is I don't think a lot of people that deal with it necessarily see it as individualism. You know what I'm saying? Illuminati. West Coast Wise said, talking about a savage, Jacob in the Bible was in the pursuit of happiness and didn't care if he had to trick, steal, or force people to do what he wanted. 793rd said, what's the reasoning for how fast they made the Set Me Up video so fast? I don't even, what set me up? Kendall Rowland says, since they ended chattel slavery, but not before, they lobotomized us and totally wiped out our knowledge of self. For the last 155 years, we have been in a state of voluntary slavery. Yeah, but it's almost, which I always say is there's not really the difference is mostly in name, but it's almost like, for the first like 135 of them years, we was sharecropping. And then like in the last 20 years, like it's something about them people that was born like after like 1995, 96, 97. Like them people that was born from like 96, 97 up until like 2006, 2007, 2008. Yeah, they culture is totally different. They culture is totally different. And the list, we wouldn't be able to do that in one video. You know what I'm saying? The list of things that have changed. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I would that's the only thing I would add on to that right there, Kendall Rowland. Illuminati said when people are advocating savagery, that's it's like a badge of honor to be a savage now. That's what's crazy. You know what I mean? That at least to me, because like I said, I spent the last 34 years saying I'm God. So when people show up on the scene to say that they savage and to be proud of that, it's a culture shock for me. So Illuminati said hip hop today is advocating hyper individualism, making these youths believe they have no support system even when they do. Yeah. And then even the way they listen to music, you know what I'm saying? Like music was something that, we all used to listen to together. You know what I'm saying? Whether we, at the jam, whether we in the park, somebody got the boom box, you know what I'm saying? And we all dancing to the same drum. But now everybody listen to the music on their headphones by themselves. And so just the whole way that the message comes across to the people and how the message is interpreted. You know what I'm saying? Becomes a little bit different. Oh, the dude in Sacramento that was on the live stream that killed the two girls. So you said they set me up. See, I didn't see the video. I just saw an excerpt that was on that was connected to the news story. But you're saying the live stream video was made so quickly available in the social media age of instant uploading, open ups and downs in the young lives without filter. Yeah, absolutely. Chief came in. SW said, I was saying, I see the spiritual thing as being connected, oneness as 1+6, knowledge one's equality. I mean, they got a little bit more esoteric view on that. But I see what you're saying. Chief said, I'm not sure what they mean by spirituality, but we know that there are unseen forces. The piece with the magnetic attracts the piece without. Unlike repelled, these things are science, how our minds and bodies are constructed and what forces we exert on one another. But see, the thing is, the difference between what you're saying, right, and what they're saying is that, see, we can all bear witness. We can all see the effect. You know what I'm saying? Like we got things that's unseen by the naked eye. You know what I'm saying? Sound is unseen by the naked eye, but see, we all have an instrument, right, that can detect and categorize the vibrations of the voice. We all have ears. You understand what I mean? So even if you speak in a language I don't understand, I know somebody just said something. You know what I'm saying? Or I can see the piece of steel without magnetic in it be attracted to the piece of steel with magnetic in it. You see, when you start dealing with, levels of spiritualism where uh, you can't, once you can't reproduce the results, you know what I'm saying? That's a part of science, is being able to reproduce the result. You know what I mean? So a person tells you, I shapeshifted. All right, well, let me see you shapeshift. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference between, when we say magnetic is something that can't be seen by the naked eye. You know what I'm saying? We don't see the water being drawn up from the Earth's surface, but we can look out there right now and see all that snow on the ground. We know, okay, this came from somewhere. We can detect that something happened. Somehow that water got in the sky. Now we may not know the whole science of it, depending on, what level of study the person is doing. But, once you get to that level of spiritualism where we can't really, we can't detect what you're doing. It's, it's unfalsifiable. Then it's something different. Self-help said, let's be real. Promoting savagery and demon culture only inevitably leads to a cell or an early grave. It's a suicidal kamikaze mission. Life is a shorty said, be so rough. Well, somebody said a little bit earlier that, the kind of isolation, the way things is expressed to the younger brothers, and by the younger brothers, it's a lot of, I think the word is nihilism. You know what I'm saying? Where, in your mind, it's related to the word, nihilism is the same root as annihilate. You know what I'm saying? Just the philosophy that's kind of prevalent, to a lot of the youth is that, there's not really nothing positive that's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I don't really have a chance to build. I'm never going to make it out of this situation. You know what I'm saying? I'm never gonna, all of these things is going to continue to go bad. So, the music is suicidal. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's suicide by, cop, or suicide by, opposing gang member, you know what I'm saying? You living a way of life, your own actions, your own state of mind. Like Be Righteous was saying, is the things that's bringing about your death. These is not, what I mean? You have situations like that where somebody just get hit by a stray bullet or, misidentification, but that's not per se the situation that's going on. You know what I mean? Self Bill said, I don't know of any OGs who would promote savagery and deaf culture to their own seed. And that's that's one of the things that's also a characteristic, of the younger brothers that, they might be involved with the gang culture is that, they've become disconnected uh, from the older generation that's already paid the price. You know what I'm saying? That could come back and give them some type of wisdom, some type of wisdom and understanding about what's going on. People that can express the other side. You know what I'm saying? Because the people that they attracting and people that they drawing up, the kids, they don't see the other side. They see everybody with the rags and the videos and everything, and this is what they think it's about. They think that, this is the way to make $1 million. This is the way to become successful. You know what I'm saying? They don't see, like somebody brought up yesterday, they don't see people accomplishing things by doing righteousness And what's even more is, they're not getting any mentorship. They're not getting any training, you know what I'm saying, from the brothers who accomplished something. You're not coming back to lay down a blueprint. Like I'm saying, if Jay-Z comes back and say, well, look, I'm gonna give a business class. You know what I'm saying? You want to start, whatever business it is, I'm gonna do a business class. How you incorporate, how you network, et cetera, et cetera. So, people not going to look at that aspect of the success. They're going to look at it, well, Jay-Z, he was a drug dealer and he rapped about it and, he came successful that way. So, that's definitely something that I've seen too, you know what I'm saying, in terms of, especially when you deal with like those kingpin type of people, like your Freeway Ricky Rosses and, AZ and what's the brother they're about to let out? Harry O. All of them, the biggest of the drug dealers, they all like, yo, you know something? I wish I never would got involved with that. You know what I'm saying? I wish I never, you know what I'm saying? Just not just because of the time that I got off it, but I wish I never was a part of that much destruction. You know what I mean? Especially after, a lot of these brothers, they in jail by the time they figure out that this was a plan. By the time they figure out the whole Iran-Contra stuff and all of that, by the time they start reading up on this and hear about it, now you realize that, yo, you really was just a pawn. You thought you was the kingpin, but you really was just a pawn in bringing about death, hell, and destruction. You know what I'm saying? I've never met any of them that was like, yeah, I wish I could go back, and I would do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? But, that aspect, it don't get, it don't get the same, it don't get the same press. You know what I'm saying? Now, Illuminati said many are not being open and honest once they out of that lifestyle and reaching back to the youth. Yeah. And you know what I seen too, La Illuminati, in terms of when they do, do something like, you know, you might see a video, for instance, on YouTube, and it'll be about, this person who was a drug dealer or that person was a drug dealer, right? And let's say the video was an hour long. They spend like 57 minutes talking about that lifestyle. They spent 57 minutes talking about all the jury they had, all the women they dealt with, all the cars they had, you know what I'm saying, all the clubs that they went to. And then they spend like 3 minutes where it's like, well, yeah, what you up to now? Well, yeah, I got this little program where I deal with the kids, and you could tell how when they start talking about when they was doing negativity, like the juices start flowing and just the way they expressive and everything and the way they speaking about that, you know what I'm saying? Then when it comes to the positive stuff they doing now, yeah, well, I got a organization over here. We do this. You know what I'm saying? So you showing both, but it's like this. Which one you want? Remember back in the days you used to do that? Somebody you'd be like, yo, which hand is the quarter hand? You understand what I'm saying? So, while, brothers coming out and telling their story, I see the merit in it, but I think they should spend a little more time talking about, how life really came out. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people who was the largest drug dealers back in the days are some of the poorest people right now. You know what I'm saying? That money disappeared, all of the skills that you never built up. You know what I'm saying? All of the experience that you never built up, You know what I'm saying? Now you don't have the skills and experience to do nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Even if you wanted to sell drugs, they not even moving like that right now. So that's definitely a real aspect right there, La Illuminati. So the God I be said we don't have strong rites of passages and manhood training in North America. Our people over the last century tried to establish it. We have to. Yeah, and I agree with that too, 100%. The God I be. Um, unfortunately, the gangs have been the most successful at establishing rites of passage. Like that's the reality of that. You know what I'm saying? Is that uh, a lot of the rites of passage is about you passing into manhood. One of the aspects of that is being able to survive. You know what I'm saying? In whatever environment. You going and learning how to hunt. You going and learn how to fish. You going and learning how to be, a warrior. You know what I'm saying? Defend yourself, your family, your community, or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? Uh, you know, these things, in a warped out way, you know what I'm saying, have been mastered by the gangs. All those different aspects of things, they're gonna show you how to do it. You know what I'm saying? They'll show you how to, rob the store. They'll show you how to, rob people. They'll show you how to sell drugs. You know what I'm saying? They'll show you how to fight. If you need help fighting, they'll show up. You understand what I'm saying? They'll get you a gun. They'll do all the things, uh, to help you pass into manhood in that, limited environment. You know what I'm saying? In that limited environment, in that little of time where you have your freedom. Because remember, once you lose your freedom, you know what I'm saying, you all chopped up because your mathematics can't be complete. But for that limit of time, before that happens to you, before you get shot, before, whatever the case, whatever ends up, being your particular ending, you know what I'm saying? The gangs, uh, they've been the best at reproducing the rites of passage in North America, you know what I'm saying? And so, going to jail and all of these things is normalized because the people who um the people who introduce you to the rites of passage, this is what they did. You understand what I'm saying? Right, 793rd hit something on the head, 99.999%, of people who sold drugs was never kingpin status. You know what I'm saying? But they make it look good on the videos. They make it sound fun. You know what I'm saying? Self Bill said, "How is it that we aren't able to see the results of said savagery and its ramifications as they say even Stevie Wonder can see it?" I was telling somebody a story today, right? That uh, when you know, I always looked at I always looked at at like people that was addicted to heroin, right? And you would see the people nodding out. And I always thought that that was, the bad part of, dealing with heroin. You know what I'm saying? But one day, uh, I'm in the atmosphere and the dude is nodding out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've had a lot of misspent time. But dude is nodding out. And it's like people was walking past. So his friend tapped him and was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You nodding right now, people was passing. And the dude who was nodding, he got angry. He was like, yo, man, what are you doing, man? I was grooving. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way he was talking was like, yo, who does that, man? Like, what's wrong with you? Why would you do something like that? Why would you so in other words, what I'm saying that to say is that the part that I thought was the worst part was the best part for him. That's a part, of that illusion that you're doing something good. So for a lot of these people, you know what I'm saying, is not, when it becomes crystal clear that even Stevie Wonder could see it with them. You know when it becomes like that? When that man comes in and say, yo, uh, is this you right here in the picture? Is this you right here with this cocaine right here? Is this you exchanging the money on this film right here, this video? Hmm. Is this you right here? Is this you right here putting the gun in your waistband right here in this picture and then taking it out in this picture and aiming it? Do you know this person right here? Yeah, they've signed this affidavit saying that they saw you do this. See, that's when the reality hit. Now you want to know how you can get out. That's when the reality hit. But in the meantime, that's the fun part for them. All the things that we like, yo, man, look, I got no time to be going through that. So, that's like I was just saying with the God I be, that's the the manhood training that they've had, that they've been, brought into. That listen, I guess they more blind than Stevie Wonder. What did you say here? Bill said you got brothers with smarts, talents, abilities that will never get the opportunity to express any of that. They get buried with those mental treasures. 30, 40 years is basically a life sentence. Yeah. And they not seeing, they not even getting 30 or 40 years, out here before they get 30 or 40 years in there. That's that's about, development, man, personal development, what I'm saying, development of the talents and skills, what I'm saying, the things that make you the cream of the planet Earth. You understand what I'm saying? Uh, the talents, the abilities, the intelligence, all of these different things that, it has to be developed and put into, kinetic flow. That's what's gonna happen. La Illuminati said, as well as reaching for the youth outside your relatives. Yeah, you know, uh, like you were saying, you had brought this up earlier about, individualism. Um, you know, that we don't have just a strong, community aspect. Even amongst the kids don't know each other. Like, when I was a kid, the streets was packed with kids. You know what I'm saying? It never was, if you don't have nobody to play with, it's people out here. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so, that community aspect, you know, in terms of, bringing your resources together so we could do something greater together, in terms of, protection, you know what I'm saying? A pervert is going to be less likely to try to kidnap a kid when it's, 30, 40 kids in that park. All of these different aspects is, things that become destroyed with individualism. You know what I'm saying? One of the ways that was manifest, even, it's always been, kind of that element in the cities where it's more individual than down south. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was going down there a lot with my family and everything, a lot of times you got one property, right? And you might have 3, 4 houses on that property where, everybody's there together. The resources is pooled, the protection is there, the help with the children and the child care and all of that stuff is there. You know what I'm saying? So, it wasn't even that we was reaching out. We was right there together. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of these big cities, yeah, we gotta um, provide community things. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, well, basically what you're expressing right here is, a lot of times the best thing you could do for each individual is situation, and the situation is to do something for the whole. You know what I'm saying? If you do something for the whole, then, it's gonna affect everybody. You know what I'm saying? In a positive direction. So far, Bill said, plus our definition of manhood has been skewed. Emotional, unstable don't mean you hard. Abusing women don't make you tough. Terrorizing elders ain't gang gang. Not taking care of your seeds, etc. I mean, yeah, gotta agree with you there. Uh, you know, not knowing how to use your power for the benefit of the cipher. You know what I'm saying? You know, uh, you got man, woman, and child. Is all a part of the cipher. Everybody got a certain role. You know what I'm saying? The role of the man is to use his power for the benefit of the cipher and everybody in the cipher and everybody around the cipher. You know what I'm saying? But with the culture that has arisen, you know what I'm saying? Uh, with the culture that has arisen, manhood has come to men. how much you can use your power to destroy, any and everything inside the cipher and outside the cipher. You know what I'm saying? So, we identifying a lot of things here that is contributors to the problem. You know what I'm saying? The key is, we got to go out and do these things. You know what I'm saying? Like Lalumi Nadi was saying, reaching out to the kids in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Just sometimes for the aspect of just to show them that, there's people out here that care about the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? See, a lot of times that's what it is too. You shooting in the neighborhood because, the same reason, you got kids pissing in the elevator in the projects. You know what I'm saying? Keep getting caught up. Yeah, SW said, I just seen a dude lean about 4 inches from the ground. Yeah, I never knew that was the good part. I never knew that was the good part of heroin, is that they wanted to deny that. I just thought that was like a side effect. But I didn't know that the nod necessarily signified that, you in the good part of this. Yes. I didn't just goes to show you. Illuminati said, nah, God, the worst part is your name versus the United States of America. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what happens. That's what happens right before that's why people cop out. When it's like you said, when it says you versus United States of America. See, when it says versus the state of New York, they don't do all that. They just arrest you, they see you in court. You see, the feds, they laid out for you. Look, this is what we got right here, son. What you gonna do? What you gonna do, man? You gonna take this? You gonna take this 40 years, or you gonna take this? You gonna take this 96 months? Which which one you want? 360 months or 96? God, our beast said if the degrees say that people in Africa strayed away from civilization and are living a beast way of life, then what makes our people in North America different who have been kept away? I mean, that's what the lie was about. You know what I'm saying? Going savage in the wilderness of North America, you know what I'm saying? You going you're straying away from the culture and refinement. You know what I'm saying? You straying away from the facts of the reality of the world you live in. You know what I'm saying? The knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And you've become savage, you know what I'm saying, in your pursuit of things that's really supposed to be in you. You know what I'm saying? You're going savage in the pursuit of happiness. You're going savage in the pursuit of love and all these different things. You see what I'm saying? Because uh, you know, the way of life that reflects that it comes from life and not that it comes from death, hell, and destruction, you strayed away from that. Side rally. Free to be me. All right, I finally caught up in the comments tonight here. Mr. Spock said, you seen any heroin or ex-addicts with flags on? Yes. let's not beat around the bush there. Let's not beat around the bush there. Yeah, hey, listen, that's unfortunately that's the way the cookie crumbles. That's the way the cookie crumbles. But we put in our time for the day. You know what I'm saying? It's been a good class. We covered a great many topics. You know what I'm saying? And something that's relevant. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, be aware of these things. Be aware that, we talking about the youth here. And so these seeds, you know what I'm saying, of whatever these children is whatever that's blossoming as the savagery, right? In our cipher, the seeds for that is being planted right in front of us. Like we the people that is responsible for that. You know what I'm saying? As the adults in the room, and also as the 5% who we say we are, and what we say our duty is to do. So we got to, see these seeds and, destroy those seeds, right? And plant the seeds of righteousness, right? These are the types of things that we got to look into, you know what I'm saying? Or these are the things that we got to do when we saying, we building a nation. We saying the law world manifests. You know what I'm saying? So that's what this right here was about. You know what I'm saying? About realizing, what's going on, and realizing that, we all playing a part in it. See, it's smooth. It sounds good to say, yo, yeah, those the young, they be wilding. Well, they can't be wilding unless we wilding. You know what I'm saying? It's just to the naked eye, you might can't you might can't see it because we not the person that's pushing that old lady down, but you the person that's not dealing with the education, you know what I'm saying, that the youth need in order to know better than that. You're not providing the resources and the opportunity for the young to see that, now it's another route to take besides this one. So if our Bill said is teaching, then the only solution for remedying savagery, if yes, what about those hard to be led who are comfortable in their lack of knowledge and wisdom? Do we kick them to the curb? I mean, no, you say into the wicked. You know what I'm saying? You say into the wicked. You know what I'm saying? You let them know, you know what I'm saying, the will of the universe. You let them know the science, uh, the science of mathematics. And those that, knew that will and prepared not themselves, they get the many stripes. You know what I'm saying? You can't, you can save a person from a lot of things, but you can't save them from themselves. You know what I'm saying? If a person needs your help, you know what I'm saying, and they come, yo, look, God, I'm in this situation right here, you know, um, you know, I need this book, man, you know what I'm saying, for school, you know what I'm saying, I was supposed to do this report, you know what I'm saying, and yo, mom just tore up right now, you know what I'm saying, I need to get this book, God. So you can save them now. Here, take what you was it, $20? You go ahead, take 40, 50, 100, take it. You can save somebody from that. But you can't save them from saying, man, fuck school, man. I ain't doing no report, man. Fuck all that shit. I don't fuck what happened. Take me to jail, motherfucker. It's demon time. See, what can you do? You understand what I'm saying? You know, justice is a penalty or reward, man. It's like, it's the actual fact of the universe. You know what I'm saying? It's the actual principle within our within our science. You understand what I mean? So, you know, uh it's sad, you know what I'm saying? Of course you gotta feel fucked up. You wish that the person had a better mentality. But look, it's one of the things, like a lot of times I tell the young, look, you gonna learn. That's something that I've seen over the years. You're going to learn. And if you don't learn the easy way, they got places for people, they they got places and ways of getting the message through to the hard headed. And like somebody said a little while ago, if it take 30 or 40 years, if it take 30 or 40 years for the message to get through, we got time. So come on, man, with the jewel thievery self I built. See, I know that's one thing about you 5%ers, man. That jewel thieves. That's that demon time y'all be on. What's this you saying here, God Savage Divine? You said what do I say about what? Prior? What are you talking about? Cause I've been leaving y'all alone. Y'all been in a side rally. Y'all been in a side rally all night. But yeah, what you talking about? Let's wind it down. Hopefully you're not taking me down the rabbit hole. But what is this about? What I say about what? What's the deal, man? You there, Don Bishop? Hopefully everybody in the room did the each one teach one. Hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, of course. Tomorrow, I guess we're gonna start off with that. Was that you, Self Fabulous? I'm gonna start off with that. I'm gonna look those women up, the Fox sisters, and see if I could draw up any type of connection to what's going on right now. Yeah, the Fox sisters. Who is that? It must have been District 120. Who's the best comedian? Um, who's the best stand-up comedian? Hmm. Um, I mean, see, you got a lot of dudes. Dave Chappelle is starting to get up there, but Dave Chappelle is not as funny to me as he was a couple years ago. See, with Rich, see, a lot of people they came up and they had like, might have like one movie, not movie. I'm talking about you might have like one stand up special, right? That you ripped it down like that was crazy. See, Rich got the longevity on everybody. See, Rich is like, Rich is like, Michael Jordan and Tom Brady. Not endorsing Michael Jordan and Tom Brady as the best, but just saying that, Rich got the 6 rings, son. Rich got, Rich got the 6 rings. Rich got stand up. He got albums. He got movies. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Bernie Mac was mad. That's what I'm saying. Like when Bernie Mac set in the Kings of Comedy was ridiculous, man. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, Rich got 6 rings. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Raw and Delirious was crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't take it away from, and another thing you got to give the Rich, right, is that, I always give a person credit for being an originator. Like being a pioneer means something to me. You know what I'm saying? Where you know, every comedian, like so you talking about well, Bernie Mac, I give him credit. He was kind of original. You know what I'm saying? But Eddie Murphy, Dave Chappelle, all of these dudes is versions of Richard Pryor. Like just the whole form and function of how he told a joke uh is the whole form and function of how he told a joke is kind of like the blueprint of it's the blueprint of stand up for black comedians right now. So yeah, other than that, other than that, uh, honeymooners, yeah. Now look, that's a good example. You know, you like a lot of those old shows, you know what I'm saying? Uh you know, they provided the blueprint for the shows that you see now. You know what I'm saying? The character of Ralph and Ed, you know, this is you know reinvented all these different ways. You know what I'm saying? Nah, nobody's forgetting about Red Fox. Um, Nobody's forgetting about Red Fox at all. You know what I'm saying? There's other dudes. Harris was my man name, Robin Harris. There's lots of dudes, man. I'm just saying that Richard Pryor got the 6 rings. Man. You talking about Martin from House Party? Martin had his time at the top. I mean, you can say what you want to say, man. You know, the fact of the matter is that you know, for me, you know, Eddie Murphy, he's always going to be, you know, he's Richard Pryor's and he's look. See, the law got his 5%. Richard Pryor got his 5% too, son. Richard Pryor got his 5% too. You know, if you don't see that, you know, Eddie Murphy is like Black Messiah. So Eddie Murphy is like Black Messiah, man. Like, yeah, you definitely all praise due, but he's still Richard Pryor 5%. But yeah, like I said, man, everybody do the each one teach one. Hit the like button, subscribe if you new, and I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. I'm gonna do that research on the Fox sisters and you know you know how they related to the modern day spiritualist movements. You know what I'm saying? And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace. I put my thumbs down, yo.